This is otherwise state champ Alex Thompson. This is Josh Elwer from the University of Northern Iowa, and you're listening to Potentially Dangerous on IA Russell.
Hey, is this heaven? No, it's Iowa.
From high school to international wrestling, on the mat and beyond, this is the Potentially Dangerous podcast with the guys from IA Russell.
If you're a fighter, you like a fight. If you're an American, you like a fight. If you're an Iowa Hawkeye, you know you're going to get a fight.
Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and all your podcast-friendly apps. And follow us on social media platforms at IA Russell. Time to strap it up and get to the show. Welcome back to Potentially Dangerous, episode 112. Tony Hager, Nick Ryder back 3 weeks in a row, Nick. We're back here again. We got a little bit of a hot streak going here, so let's keep it rolling. How was your weekend? Easter, man. I feel like I had like 5 Easter weekends in a row with these kids.
Well, that's kind of weird, but I guess that makes sense for you. I had one day of Easter that was pretty all right. So good food.
Did you have any family that you had an Easter egg hunt with, or?
We went to visit my some family that lives up in Makokata. Sorry, and yeah, they did a little Easter egg hunt, and it was a little cold for being outside, but yeah, I spent some time with the family, and it was fun and good food, and yeah.
What's your favorite Easter candy? Like I've got my go-tos.
Oh, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup eggs. That's it. That's game over.
That was mine, actually. I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's everybody's. Like you get 6 or 7 of those, and you sit on the couch, and that's it.
I'm a big fruit punch fruity guy too. Have you had the fruities?
Yes. Yeah. We used to have. There was a place at UNI where. In the union where I used to work, that they'd sell them by the bag. So you get the biggest bag and just chow down for like, I don't know, an hour is all it took to polish one of those off.
You get 1,500 in a bag or something like that.
Yeah, those are the big bags. We used to have like smaller ones.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that you get all the flavors and it wasn't specific to just one.
Money stuff. Well, so Easter's behind us. I mean, this week already been crazy. We got the World Cup obviously coming up. This past weekend, I streamed the AAU National Duels, or 6 events, 1 arena, 28 mats. It was absolutely crazy. It took me about 12 hours to set up all the kits and the clocks, but we got it all done. But this week, I mean, huge news, right? Austin DeSanto coming out. One, that he's transferring. He got his release, full release. Were you surprised that they granted it to him?
No, I'm never surprised when either way. I mean, some coaches have policies, some don't. And honestly, I don't even know who the Drexel coaches are, or what their policies are or anything. So there's no reason to be surprised. I am a little surprised at how many people are going after him. You know, we saw Iowa, or, people have said that Iowa, Penn State, Nebraska. There's got to be some other ones I'm forgetting about, but just those 3 even.
Yeah, Nebraska, Rutgers, Iowa has been the ones that I've heard, but I'm sure everybody would, like to get DeSanto. But
yeah, and I get it. I think I get it.
What do you mean?
Like I was just I'm a little surprised at how much attention is being paid to him, and like how many guys are going after him now. It just seems kind of weird to me. Like he's good. Like let's not pretend he's not, but it just makes me wonder like where he considered going before, like when he was coming out of high school, and why he didn't go somewhere other than Drexel. Like Drexel doesn't scream big name or big school or anything. But like why he chose to go there, maybe he's getting some money that I mean, I don't know at all. So But it's just interesting that like, oh, he has one decent year. It's more than decent. And now all the heavy hitters are going after him.
Well, he committed early to Drexel, and then he beat Spencer Lee in the finals. And he was already committed to Drexel. So obviously when that happened, everybody kind of wanted him, right? And I have a feeling that some words were said with some teams during the season because Drexel just isn't as the schedule isn't as tough. They don't wrestle as tough as team. They're not as popular as some of the other teams. So, DeSanto's a guy that obviously if you watch him at the NCAA tournament, did you I know you said you watched some of his matches. Did you watch when he did the whole Kamara and almost tried to break Micich's arm?
Yeah, I went back and watched a couple of his matches. I saw the end of that one with the cartwheel, which is just stupid. Like, Micic knew exactly what he was going to do. Like, or he knew he was going to do something crazy and was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then the arm thing was so, like, the first time I saw it, I was kind of like, is he really doing that? Why is he doing it? And I was like, that's not going to work at all. Like, you're not in the right, like, it didn't seem to me like he was in the right position to do it. But it was weird and.
Well, you can't do it. That's the problem.
Well, no, like even if he could, he didn't seem to really know what he was doing. Just kind of got flustered, I guess. I don't really understand. I haven't heard any interviews with him or if he's talked about it at all, but it just it was stupid. Like, why do that? I didn't understand that.
I'm sure he would take it back, but he was probably in a desperation mode. Apparently, he's probably trained some jiu-jitsu, and at a time like that, when your tournament life is on the line, I think.
Yeah, I get it, but it was, and maybe Micic was talking a little bit because he kind of said something, but I can't remember if that was after that or before that. But I don't know, it was just kind of weird, and maybe. I'm not one to talk about this, but maybe it shows a little immaturity, and frustration, but, you can't do stupid stuff like that. So, and then the other match that I find much more interesting than that stuff was his wrestle back against, the Rutgers guy. What's that guy's name? I feel so stupid. Is it Del Vecchio? Is that the Rutgers?
Yeah, that sounds right. I'm not sure. Is he 33?
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
It's all right. Anyway, so yeah, so he's on the wrestle back, so he's wrestling him. And what did you see, I guess, in the matchup?
So yeah, Scott Del Vecchio. So the guy, DeSanto is. Nothing happens in the first period. The most exciting thing that happened in the first period was Del Vecchio backed out of bounds and the ref called action. That's stupid. But so 0-0 going to the second, and DeSanto starts on top, and he goes optional start and kind of pushes the guy or pushes him up, and I think he gets out. So Del Vecchio's up 1-0. Man, this has got to be boring. Go find this match if you can find it. It's on Watch ESPN, the whole thing, not just the highlights from Flow. Try to go find the whole thing. I think it was on Mat 4 or Mat 6 maybe in the quarterfinals Friday night. That's the blood round. But so DeSanto takes Del Vecchio down to his back, 2-4. So he's up 6-0 in the second. They stalemate out. They go to a restart. He goes optional start again and cuts him basically with I think 55 or 58 seconds left. All he has to do is ride him for 3 more seconds, and this match is totally different because in the third period, DeSanto went down and could not get out because he's a true freshman, and I guess that's a thing with true freshmen. But he gets ridden out. He gets hit for stalling 4 times in the third period alone. 4 times. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, the first one was like, yeah, okay, you know, he's on bottom, his head's down, whatever. But the second time was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then the third time I was like, no way, this isn't happening. And then with like 8 seconds left, he gets called for it. And the ref is like, and I usually don't rag on refs too much, but like, he's just like, yeah, stall. Yeah. Stall. Hey, how you doing? Oh, he's still stalling. Stall. Oh, stall. And if it had been an Iowa guy or a Penn State guy or an Ohio State guy wrestling against them, the wrestling world would have screamed out conspiracy. I mean, it's unbelievable. Go find the match. Go watch it. It's awful. And then it goes to overtime, and on this, Del Vecchio had 1 minute and 1 second of writing time to force overtime then, because again, 4 stall calls in a period. And so it goes to overtime, and Del Vecchio gets in on a single leg and takes him down. Del Vecchio didn't do anything at all in the match, except, and I don't mean to rag on Del Vecchio, but it's going to sound like I am, anything at all until the third period when DeSanto just sat there. And maybe that's the way it should be called, but I've not seen this year. I'm getting fired up over this. I have not seen this year 4 stall calls against the guy in 1 period. I
love it.
I couldn't believe it.
I'll never forget Dwight Hinson. I think it was Dwight Hinson, Iowa State wrestler. He got dinged. I lost count. I think he got DQ'd out of the match at Hilton. I mean, I think they need to call more stalling. If your head's on the damn mat, they need to call. I need to go back and watch it. But
yeah,
you know, back in the day, they stalled fools out. Dwight Hinson got stalled out of a match against Iowa, I'm pretty sure. But I'll never forget that.
I mean, and I don't mind the stall calls, but like when, you know, I watch a lot of college wrestling, like, but I have not.
Do you think are you saying that the official was trying to get back at him for what he did earlier?
I don't. So we were talking about this on Twitter this morning. It's why I've seen the matches. With Proud Wrestling Fanboy, JP Pearson, and Cliff Dressler. And one of them asked me that too, or, you know, said something about that. And I don't think refs are that smart. Like, and by refs, I mean people. Cause like, you gotta know who, like, you gotta grudge against. And then you gotta figure out a way to have calls go against them. Like, I just don't think that it's that conscious a thing. Like, when you're out there and you're trying to make calls, like, it's not easy. And there's nothing, like, it wasn't the same official. Neither of the officials were the same. I looked. Like, he was up 6-0. He's not like, the ref's not like, I'm going to hit him for 4 times stalling because he's not going to be able to get out, and we're going to go to overtime.
Okay.
Like, he'd have to figure out the writing time in his head. I just don't think refs are that smart. I don't think anybody's that smart.
All right, so let's move on here to he's been rumored that Iowa is visiting him, Penn State, Nebraska, whoever really would want him. You know, everyone was up in arms about the whole, especially on the Hawkeye Wrestling board and social media. I mean, deservedly so. And now everyone on the Hawkeye Wrestling board is like, oh yeah, bring him in. Bring in Austin, kind of like the whole deal with PD3, and then that didn't go well. I don't want to mention that name again on our podcast, but same situation where everyone didn't like him, but you have the opportunity to get him, and now you love him. I think it was it was a mistake in a match. You can't hate the guy for the rest of eternity because of that. I think if he got into the Iowa wrestling, it would change the team completely. And people would say, oh, Spencer Lee wouldn't want him on there because he talked a bunch of crap on Twitter. Said something about his mom, which is just kind of, you just don't go there, right? But I've heard that Spencer Lee wants to get him there. So that's a game changer, though, right?
Lee probably wants to rip his head off.
I mean, they need to have him. He's a potential All-American that Iowa wouldn't have.
So let's address your first point. fan bases will forgive anything if the guy is on their team. I mean, like, being a fan of a team is just an insane thing. Like, most people are so blind, and I am too. You're so blind to what your team is doing and what they need to do to succeed that they'll forgive anything. Everyone, like, it's crazy. It's what, like you said, it's what happened with PD3. It's sort of what's happening with this guy. I don't think DeSanto's that bad. I think he just, he got flustered and, he's a true freshman, so maybe he redshirts a year, matures a little bit, whatever. But fan bases are just nuts, and they'll forgive anything if you're a guy on their team, if you're their guy, then they're behind your back no matter what. So, but as far as, I mean, you can do the 133. I mean, you can play those games where Iowa needs him or whatever. You're probably right where he's probably better than like what they currently have in there. I just don't. The thing that bugs me more than anything else is, like, if this guy is so good, why wasn't he on Iowa's radar to begin with? Why wasn't he on Nebraska's radar to begin with? Like, yeah, he committed earlier, whatever. Well, whatever. That's the thing that bugs me. Not like, can we get him in the room now? It's why weren't we on him before? And by we, I mean, Iowa. I'm obviously not a part of the program.
There's those type of kids. There's those kids all over the place that aren't on radars in high school that blossom in college. I mean, like,
but it's been 1 year. Like, and all of a sudden now we're all like, this guy's the next guy. This guy's the guy that's going to put Iowa over the top, be national champion. All right, come on.
Is he? I mean, he's an available transfer. He's an available transfer, so it's not like, I mean, he's not a must-have, but I mean, to be able to get somebody in your room right away, you can't. I mean, he's looking for a team. It's not like you have to recruit him, really. I mean, you do a little bit, but he's going to be making a decision soon. So it's not like a high school recruit. I mean, it's a free agent. It's like a free agent.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it. It bugs me. Like, it's probably just a roadblock that I have that, like,
just like Pat Downey. I mean, they weren't recruiting Pat Downey, but they sure as hell could have used him at any weight class he could have gone.
For me, that's a little bit different situation, just because of where he'd been and what he's put out there on social media that I've seen, and all that stuff. But yeah, like, I don't know. I just.
Do you think he'd cause? You think he'd cause more problems than?
Oh no, I don't. You mean DeSanto?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I that's one thing that
you're just upset that we didn't recruit him, so now why would you even take him?
Mostly.
It has nothing to do with what he did on the mat. You just don't want him?
It's not that. So it's not that I don't think he'd be good for Iowa. It's that Iowa right now, and it's less so since they took third, but they've kind of been searching for themselves a little bit in the last couple of years, where they've been looking for answers to Penn State.
Yeah.
And having Spencer Lee obviously is an answer, but like all I read last year from Iowa fans was, oh, we got Spencer Lee, and now if we can add Pat Downey, then we'll be great. Well, now it's if we add DeSanto, we can be great. But so I don't know that that's the best way to, like, keep it sustained. And I don't know that that's, like, sure, maybe that's a short-term answer. Maybe. I mean, and maybe it is and maybe it isn't. But I don't know.
You're flustered tonight. You're flustered.
Yeah.
Well,
that
just
match really got me. That stupid stall calls.
I mean, yeah, you're.
It's hard to.
I get it. Okay, so I get why you're up in arms about anybody. I mean, he hasn't done anything, but people are like blowing it up. You got to remember too is there's nothing else going on in wrestling right now. I mean, you got college transfer news, college coach. What?
There's a little thing called the World Cup coming up.
I know, but no one follows freestyle wrestling. That's the problem. No one follows it. So
yeah, all right. No one's gonna go.
There's about I bet there's gonna be 7,500 people there, if not more.
Wow, so Carver will be half full.
But as far as DeSanto goes, I think Iowa has to go after him. Have to get him.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're DeSanto, why the hell would you go to Penn State? There's people there all around him that are.
Well, if you're a lightweight, you're going to Iowa. I mean, and if you don't, you're just not using your head.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're going 125 and then you got to sit behind Lee for 3 more years. But
yeah.
But yeah, I let me just recap quick. I don't have any problem with. I mean, I have problems with what he did on the mat. But I don't think he'd be a problem. Like, I don't see that. I didn't see anything from his matches that told me this is a bad kid. Like, don't bring him in a room, he's poison or something like that. Like, I think, if he can help the program, not just Iowa's program, you go after him. Does he try to make you guys better and all that stuff? Yeah. I don't know if any of that made any sense, but.
I mean, I get where you're trying to come from. You're just not.
I'm not articulating it.
You're not articulating it very well. Bottom line is
it's very late.
The bottom line is you got a hole to fill. You fill it with anybody that has. Period. If you have the ability to bring in a guy like him, somebody who has beaten Spencer Lee, torn ACL or not,
care about that.
Why?
Lee was hurt.
So okay, so you and I wouldn't take him.
Oh well. No, wait. I thought you meant like you, like me personally, like if I was coaching Iowa. If like,
cat got your tongue.
No, I'd bring him in. Like, I shouldn't say that like, no, keep him away or anything. I know,
dude. Just have you listened to his interviews? Like, it's like
no, I haven't.
Like, okay, you gotta listen to his interviews. Okay, that's he's a little.
I literally know nothing about him other than what I saw in 2 matches from the NCAAs.
Yeah, he's a little loosey-goosey, and I think he would basically be Terry Brandt, just like Terry Brandt. I mean, he's just out there, and you put them back to back. Iowa needs something like that. Okay.
That'd be okay. All right.
So we're trying to keep this to a half-hour show.
Good luck.
But that's probably not going to happen. We'll try to keep you up to date with the DeSanto news. I haven't been able to get any inside information about kind of where he's at. Obviously, we will, if we can break the news, we will. But that's one thing Iowa fans need to be looking out for, though, is there's other recruits out there right now that Iowa is really close to getting. I mean, I think in the next 30 days there will be some big news that are coming out here soon, and I think the Hawkeye Wrestling Club is going to be making some moves too. The biggest thing is if Ryan Morningstar, is he? We said last week that he's wanted a head coaching job.
He's out
for a while. I mean, I don't see how he doesn't take a job now. I don't see how he doesn't get the South Dakota State job. Nick Mitchell, we mentioned that he would be a good fit, but doesn't sound like they even interviewed for it. I don't see how you can't hire Ryan Morningstar, honestly, right now at this point. And why wouldn't he leave? I mean, especially since he's wanted a head coaching job. Still close to home. He can still heavily recruit in Iowa, which Bono was really starting to get his foot in that door. He's, you hear Tom and Terry always say, Ryan Morningstar is the man. He's the man. He's the one doing all the recruiting. So I think Ryan moves out, you move Perry in, and you don't really. I don't know. I'm not within that recruiting circle, getting recruited by Morningstar. If you're Iowa, I don't think it sucks that you lose somebody that's been so loyal to your program. But at the end of the day, if you can get Mark Perry on staff, not a bad situation.
Yeah, Morningstar, I think, is just gone. If they offer him the job, it's going to be his, or he's going to take it. Just from everything I've seen and read, and it's the next step in his career more than likely. There's no reason why you would turn it down. So, but between South Dakota State and West Virginia, I haven't heard anything about West Virginia. Ross asked, since I look like a West Virginian person.
You are kind of a mountain man.
Mountain man. That's I haven't heard anything about that. I don't know, but I imagine Morningstar's out. And if not, I'd be surprised. But that's great. It's the next stage of his career. It's moving on. That's what you want.
Yeah, more money. Should be a lot more money, especially at a program that is going to support you financially. I think it's a really attractive job. Obviously, fans are going to come. Recruiting wise, I think it's a little bit tough to get people into Brookings. We talked about that last week. Kind of got blasted by some SDSU fans about, have you ever been into Brookings?
I have been to Brookings.
He has been into Brookings, and he went to Arby's.
And a more decent than you used to have football stadium. Other than that, sorry, I didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, we didn't say that South
I'm not
Dakota
saying
State.
It's a terrible place.
Yeah, we didn't.
It's just not for me.
South Dakota supports the wrestling better than a lot of states do going to those colleges, but it doesn't change the fact the town isn't attractive to somebody that wants to have it all, I guess.
Yeah, it's really not close to much, and I'll get off Brookings. That's fine.
Okay.
Sorry,
all right. Let's switch to the World Cup.
Woo.
World Cup.
2 days ago, there was a tweet that had from Josh. What's his name? Yep, 5,900 tickets sold.
Okay.
With less than a week left. We've reached the point to where Hawk fans can support wrestling. This is the limit, I guess.
Well, to be fair, they were giving. They sold more tickets than Los Angeles.
Yep, I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but I really expected it to be sold out. Especially with Gilman on the team, I just thought everyone would be like, "We gotta go see this guy." He's nuts with his hats and just crushing everybody. And maybe there's a huge walk up for it, but I don't know, man.
Well, right now they've got a family 4-pack for $100 or something like that. I think.
Yeah, and we did that, right?
Yeah, it was 100%. All are doing. They listen to us.
Yeah.
Which I think is great. Right now they just need to get people in the door. I talked to some people about how it went in LA, and they had, I can't remember what I tweeted out, but it's like 3,000 people. And yeah. I heard that the Iranians got a ton of free tickets just to fill the arena. So who knows how many people actually paid. But I think wrestling people are just huge procrastinators. And there's nothing else really going on besides the Masters.
Yeah, and I don't care about that at all. Don't even get me started on the Masters.
Oh, you're not a Masters fan?
I just don't care.
Why?
I'm not a big golfer, and dude, I just don't. It's a whole thing.
Dude, no, there's nothing better than Tiger in contention on Sunday. If he's in contention on Sunday, you're gonna freaking watch that. Well, no, you're gonna be at the
I'm gonna be at the World Cup.
Yeah,
it's better.
Why don't you like golf? I only like golf when Tiger Woods is playing. Everything else is just kind of boring. But I feel like Tiger Woods, like...
Yeah, like everybody else, I watched when he was in, but I used to watch to see if he would lose.
Yeah.
Not to see him win. So him coming back is really just like, whatever.
I mean, I need a Tiger Woods 2019 in my life. That was one of the best. That was one of the best games ever. Tiger Vision.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
PlayStation. Tiger Woods. Oh my God, Tiger Vision.
No, I never. I barely played golf I used to play in college. There was like a 9-hole course you could play for like $5. So I'd go and do that, like once or twice a week. But that's pretty much it. It's too expensive. I'm terrible. So yeah. You
probably never played Guitar Hero too, huh?
No, I played. Haven't we talked about that?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't know. Guitar Hero.
We did at the bar at 2:00 in the morning, but now.
Oh, that's right. You might not remember. But, so.
Okay. Anyway, so
we're at the World Cup.
We're at the World Cup, right? Yeah. I don't think it's really a big bummer that Russia Iran's not going to be there, but I think this is still like an opportunity to watch one of the best teams we've ever had.
Yeah. They're doing a good job promoting it around here. They got the banners up on the street, local articles and stuff going out about it. It's like these guys are the best athletes in the world, and they're going to be like 2 blocks. I mean, it's less than a mile from Carver to my house. So it's like, why would I not go? And why you got to get out here, and not you, but everyone's got to get out and see it. And it should be fun. It's going to be, they know how to put things on at Carver. They know what they're doing. There's Carver cones. There's the Gable Garden that's going to be outside. And Lars told Blood Round that you can actually bring your beer inside Carver once you buy it. That's what Lars said on Twitter. I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way that's right. So maybe you can bring beer in Carver. If not, people will just sneak in little bottles of Jack.
That would be like the first time ever there's been alcohol in Carver.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's what Lars said. Well, that's what Lars said around.
Well, they should be advertising that, because then they'll sell 1,000 tickets.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it'll be a little cold for the Garden, but
here's what you do, Josh Umber. Okay, so you obviously bring beer in. You bring beer in, and then you bring TVs in. Put the Masters on in the Fellers room. And then on Sunday, so you've got Masters, and then you got WrestleMania in there too, because that's going on Sunday. Shout out to my NWO boys, Whoop, whoop.
No one even knows what that is anymore.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It really is.
D-Generation X needs to come back at WrestleMania.
They did that a couple years ago, I think.
Come back again. All right. Well, so we're gonna. If you got any more questions, hit us up in the comment section. We're gonna try to wrap up the show here in a little bit, but things to look forward to here on I Wrestle. Obviously, recruiting news. We're gonna be on top of that. It's really like all we do here in the off season is try to do recruiting news. Nick doesn't do anything, but Ross and I are on the recruiting. You and I can't even recruit anybody. They just recruited 12 Iowans.
Sure. Let's plug Ross though, quick. I mean, he was in the or his wife was in the hospital. He lived there for like 2 weeks. Just had a newborn, little girl, something, whatever. And then, so he's home now. He's back at work, I think, and he's crushing articles, just killing me on the article, on the post count. Like, and it wouldn't be so bad if he put out a crappy article, but he doesn't. Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go interview Chris Bono and then make it all sound really good and everything. It's like, God damn it. Oh, sorry. It's like, darn it, Ross. You're killing me here. It just makes me look terrible.
Yeah, he's something special, right? I mean, my wife, he has to I just picture him right now, doing a bottle, like he's holding the bottle with his lefty, his hand with the baby's head here, put it in the mouth, and then his right hands are just doing the typing.
Yeah, right? It's just, I mean, it's crazy. He's great, and it's good that he's back.
He texted me before the show. He's like, hey, I've got this post ready, this post ready, this post ready. Because I've got some feelers out on kind of what's going to be happening with Wisconsin coaches and South Dakota coaches. Don't be surprised if somebody from Iowa ends up in Wisconsin. It's a little nugget there.
Who? I need more information.
Somebody not on staff.
At Iowa?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So,
but yeah, anyway,
a former Iowa Hawkeye could be possibly on staff up in Wisconsin.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So, good for them. But things, Fab 50 might be coming out here soon. Lars, Kurt Crittenden, they're working on that.
Lars is going to school right now for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So hopefully, Travis.
Stuff we got up on the website. We got the World Cup revised their schedule. Again, that Chris Bono thing that Ross put together is great. Check that out. Some Iowa State departure guys, Simmons and Breitenbach. And then like the top 100 wrestlers, there's 9 Iowans left or in the top 100. So go to IA Wrestle and check all that stuff out. I'm sure we'll have more. Ross is constantly putting out content because he's a freak. So, I'll make sure to stop back. Yeah, I think there was another question that I wanted to answer, but.
Well, you've got.
No, so Russ, I don't know if you're still here, but he asks, if you guys think someone will leave a program just for the money, how do you explain Dan Gable staying at Iowa? It's not like I assume you're talking about Morningstar and money. It's not just that, but money helps. It's running your own program, having more of a say over like the direction that you're taking your guys and what just growing in your career and stuff. It's not just all about money. Money obviously helps, but yeah, it's more about like the next stage of Morningstar's career and like, I mean, we say that stuff about money just as like an added incentive. It's not the end all be all, obviously.
Well, if you go from making $75,000 to $175,000, that's not bad.
Yeah, but again, you got to live in Brookings, so take it and leave it.
I would jump on it. I mean, he needs head coaching position. I don't think anybody at Iowa would have hard feelings for him doing that. I mean, just look at Brent Metcalf. He's making 6 figures as an assistant coach, killing it.
He's an RTC coach. He's not even an assistant.
I mean, yeah.
He's like Mark Perry.
Yeah.
But for Iowa, no, that's not right.
No, he's
got to be like officially on staff.
Yeah, he's officially on. No, well, I thought he was a volunteer assistant.
Yeah, maybe that's it. And then the RTC over there pays him.
He's the volunteer assistant that gets paid really well.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So not really volunteer. All right. Well, we will be back next week right here in iWrestle, 8:30 o'clock. We'll have World Cup recap a little bit, talk about that. Talk about Tiger winning the Masters. Maybe a little WrestleMania stuff. I'm kind of pumped up about that. What else you got?
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram this weekend for photos from the World Cup. I'll be there shooting stuff. I don't know how much time I'll have for writing, but we'll try to get interviews with at least Thomas Gilman up after each round. And, yeah, photos galore. So
yep, check us out on Instagram, at iWrestle, on Facebook, at iWrestle, and we will have everything for you from the World Cup, from behind the scenes, from Nick Ryder, Tony Hager, everybody at iWrestle. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you right here on Facebook.com live.
Get low when the whistle goes.